Hello, love. Welcome to Feeling Fridays here on the Libran Key. These are messages posted every Friday for the highest and the greatest good of the Empath Collective, the highest and greatest good of the Empath Journey here on Mama Gaia, and by extension, the Elsh Collective, empaths, lightworkers, starseeds, healers, awakened and awakening souls. Know that if this video has found you or you have found it, that there is a message here for you. That is always the intention of these messages. This is going to be a channeled message. I'm not popping any cards today. Archangel Sandalphon here to talk a little bit about faulty empathy. And he's asking us the question as empaths, where are we at as empaths on our journey? I feel like this is going to be like a journaling exercise or something. And we'll see what wants to come through here. I've left it completely open to him to bring forward the message. He has given me a little preamble here. First asking the question, where are we at as empaths, both individually and collectively on our journey? This is something that we can also tap into energetically, in meditation, in a sacred space. He's also showing me the journey of Jesus Christ, and how the path of Jesus is very much the path of the empath, or the empath journey. And he specifically showed me Christ standing his ground. This idea that being a doormat, and also the idea of aloofness as faulty empathy, as aspects of faulty empathy and how they manifest themselves when empaths are not standing in their power and not exercising healthy boundaries. Okay. I specifically heard here the masks that empaths wear. This is interesting. And I wrote wear here, not wear as the verb, but wear as in terms of where is this happening in your life? Where are you doing this? The masks that empaths wear I cannot read my writing because this happens when I channel messages, in the form of aloofness and being a doormat. Okay. So I'm going to leave my notebook out here for a second. This is interesting because just outside, I have the window open. I don't know if you can hear this, but somebody started a lawnmower, and obviously Archangel Sandalphon. And anytime I do a reading, anytime there's sounds or anything that comes through, there's a meaning to that. And he's actually showing me how the lawnmower is trampling over the grass, and this idea of being a doormat, and how the repercussions of that as an empath are bigger than we think they are. When you don't exercise your healthy boundaries as an empath, what happens is the repercussions reverberate. This reverberates out into essentially the people that are around you, closest to you, and to the collective as a greater whole. Archangel Sandalphon really showing me this idea of being grounded and rooted right now, okay? And this is the magic of Archangel Sandalphon when he comes in to help us ground our energies, ground spiritual energies, be able to walk a certain path and have that manifest out on the earth plane, okay? So I'm just going to allow him. He's actually directing me to the fact that right now, the lawnmower is distracting me. But he doesn't want me to close the window. He wants me to be an example here to you of how we take the energies that distract us, that perhaps agitate us as empaths, and we transmute those energies into more focus on self-love, compassion, and understanding, on focusing on the things that are actually meaningful to us. And even in situations where we are unable to control any of the circumstances, because really you can't control anything or anyone outside of yourself and the circumstances that you are in, that it is incredibly important to understand that that comes from a place of being grounded and rooted in your sovereignty and power, okay? And right now he's directing me to take the energy and the sound of this lawnmower and to actually transmute it into giving me more energy instead of it being a distraction. And he's showing me this happening through my solar plexus, through my solar plexus center and chakra. And he's showing me that this is a transmutation of will. That's what he's showing me. Now, this is an example for each and every one of us in our lives. And he's especially showing this to me in terms of when we are in situations where we feel, just like whenever these masks manifest in terms of aloofness or being a doormat, it's because essentially that's a symptom of not standing firm in your power and in your sovereignty. And a lot of this has to do with declaring, maybe first to yourself, what it is that you are not happy with. He's keeping it really simple here. What is it you're not happy with in a particular situation in your life? What is it you want to change about yourself? What is it you want to change about this situation? He's talking here about getting honest with how you truly feel and what you truly want. And that for empaths, part of the empath journey is being able to claim this. He's directing me also now to the fact that, and this is in alignment with what's going on astrologically, he's reminding me to mention this. So tomorrow's the equinox, the fall equinox here in the northern hemisphere, where the sun moves into Libra astrologically. And we also have the south node in Libra currently and the north node in Aries. There is a massive energy right now, and he's showing it to me like this is pumping us up as empaths. But it may look on the surface like things are going really nuts with regard to your own growth and development. Just understand that it's all happening for you and for good reason, because the energies are being really ramped up right now. He's also directing me to the fact that the last video that I posted here, I was talking about the next 10 days from September 20th to the 29th of September, leading up to this full moon in Aries, which is going to be passing through the north node. There's going to be an amping up of certain energies, but it's significant, this full moon coming up, especially for empaths, and working with these energies to support you in staking a claim in your own sovereignty and individuality is what I'm hearing right now. The full moon in Aries is very significant, obviously, as it aspects the north node, because how he's presenting it to me, I'm seeing like, what I'm seeing is essentially, I'm seeing Big Bird from Sesame Street, like a being that looks like Big Bird from Sesame Street. Again, this golden energy coming through, this yellow energy that was in the last reading as well. This energy of the sun, this energy, but he's directing it to the solar plexus here. That's what he's showing me here. And this is a golden ray that he is associated with as well, right? That he's connected to, and that speaks to me, where I see this fluffing up of feathers happening. Archangel Sandalphon fluffing up our feathers as empaths. And Big Bird is symbolic in that this is to do with, there's a twofold message here. Big Bird is a big bird, and you cannot unsee a big bird. He's giving this to me in terms of the size that we need to puff up our solar plexus to and our identity to. And also that this a lot of the times has to do with inner child work and going back to the inner child. The significance of having the inner child as a kind of guide that you work with in order to get back in touch with your needs, your essential needs, and your wants. And now he's directing me to the man across the street. I believe it's a man. I can't see. Their back is to me, and they've got all this like gear on, and he's got a leaf blower, and he's clearing out the pathway between the houses. And Archangel Sandalphon, and look, the noise is dissipating. He's moving further and further away from me now. And that being you clearing out this channel that's in your solar plexus. You got to clean up the shit. You got to go back and you got to clean all this stuff up. Clear a path, make a pathway. He's showing me each and every one of us doing this for ourselves. This is an inside job, is what he's saying. And he keeps on directing me back to the masks now. So, questions for you here. What masks are you wearing in your relationships with others where you are not fully voicing? He's directing me to the voice chakra now. Your needs, your healthy boundaries, and what is meaningful and significant for you in that relationship. Because what happens is when we don't claim our power, when we don't affirm our boundaries in relationships, that can turn into being a doormat, and that can also turn into aloofness and not wanting to address something and becoming cold. And this is the irony, is that we have this very sort of stereotype, and again, he's saying faulty empathy, around what it means to be an empath and what it looks like to be an empath. Empaths can actually come across quite aloof. Empaths can actually come across quite standoffish sometimes because they use that as a protective mechanism to guard their feelings. And this goes back to, again, inner child work. He keeps on directing me back to the inner child here. And now that is a pattern that started from a young age in most of us, where because we felt so much and we were so sensitive, we turned to putting up a brick wall or a shield around us in the guise of being aloof and looking like we don't care. He's also pointing me to passive aggressiveness as well, that this can come off that way too. There is no judgment here, he's saying. This is about looking in the mirror and looking within, speaking to your inner child. He's showing me the Sun card now in tarot. The inner child, the purest essence of the inner child, knows no fear, knows no, he's giving me the word here, self-restriction, but he's talking here in terms of constraint. That's how he's showing it to me, to not say what it is you feel. And now he's especially directing me back to the red again in the Sun card. I'm seeing the red feather in the child's hat, or like it's not the hat, he's got it sort of like in a band around his head here, right? And that sort of red orangey flag in the back, and how that pertains to coming back into the body. These divine feminine principles of coming back into the body. He's also directing me to the fact that this aloofness and the doormat, being a doormat energy, how does that make you feel in your body? This is a great way also to learn from what is going on in your life. Remember, he goes, it's happening all for you, not to you. So ask yourself, where are you being aloof in your life? Where perhaps are you being standoffish? Where perhaps are you being a doormat? Where perhaps are you not being clear about where your healthy boundaries are and expressing those healthy boundaries in a healthy way? And then go into your body and pinpoint exactly what that feels like in your body. And how is that constraining you? How is that holding you back in your body? And he also wants to add here that the body, remember, is your barometer, because this has been something that's been coming up quite a bit lately. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. This is a big topic that we will revisit again and again. Yeah, he's confirming that because this is an ongoing process. He's also reminding me to reiterate here the fact that when you are doing the healing work on yourself, you're also doing the healing work for the collective. And that an empowered empath who speaks up, he's just showing me waves of reverberation energetically into the collective. And he's showing me a group of empaths standing in their sovereignty and power, and how that energy it's like I'm hearing pales in comparison to, like, how do I even word this? It's like that energy reverberates 10 times, 100 times stronger than essentially what is going on collectively in terms of the fear, in terms of the control, in terms of the way that emotions and feelings are being manipulated. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Archangel Sandalphon, for being here with us. I thank you for being here in this space with me, sharing your time and your energy. I am sending you so much love wherever you are. In love and liberation always.